discussing the biggest topics from the world of sports. We are back, bigger and better. I've missed everyone. I've missed all of you. Of course, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. The show is proudly sponsored, of course, by Patrosol, also by DSTV. And remember, we are streaming live on X Spaces as well as on the Joy FM YouTube channel. Live on 99.7 Joy FM and 103.9 Hits FM. We've got a lot to talk about today. Welcome to the show. Of course, we have a very interactive show for you. So take a very big note of our WhatsApp numbers and how you can get in touch with us elsewhere on social media. The WhatsApp number to join the conversation is 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. Also, if you prefer X or Twitter, leave us a message. Use the hashtag GamePlan, and we will see those messages, get back to you, read them, share them with the rest of our viewers and listeners from across the globe. And, of course, if we have a bit more time, depending on what's happening in studio, we would be able to open some phone lines for you to contribute to the conversation. So what's on the table today? Quite a lot. The start of the WAFU Zone B at the 17 tournament. The Black Starlets got off to a flying start, beating Cote d'Ivoire 5-1 in their opening game. The head coach Ikinson said he wasn't impressed with the performance. That didn't go down well with some people, but certainly we'll be looking at that game and what lessons we've picked. I think they're in action again tomorrow, I believe. The Black Starlets. I'll get their next game for you. And of course, we will try and look at. There are only 3 teams in Ghana's group, and so if they get 2 wins, they are through. They could actually be through still with maybe just 1 win and a draw, or maybe just 1 win. And this is the qualifiers for the Under-17 AFCON, which will then serve as the qualifiers for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. It's a long way from now, that qualifying series. That's what it is now, zonal competition. Very, very long way to finally qualifying for an Under-17 AFCON. So there's that to come. Obviously, it has come with its attending issues. There are Ghanaian athletes who are complaining very bitterly about the way the Tartan trucks are being handled at the University of Ghana Stadium during this WAFU Zone B competition. Joe Paul, as Matia, haven't seen his comment. I've seen Solomon Hammond, Isaac Bote. All of them have taken to social media to show their disgust for how the Tartan trucks at the UG Stadium are being treated. So we'll get to that in detail. Also, of course, there's a conversation about VAR being scrapped. We can get to that. The final round of the Premier League season is this Sunday. The drama is reaching a climax on Sunday. We will look at that as well. And there's been some controversy involving one Ghanaian athlete who's leveling accusations and allegations at the Ghana Olympic Committee president about how they used her as a scapegoat for speaking out and for trying to get what she was promised. We're talking about Deborah Aqua. She granted us an interview here at Joy Sports yesterday. You remember Deborah Aqua? She's Ghana's record holder in the long jump. She won a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games in 2022. She's a legend that she was promised massive support because she was injured before that competition. She said she needed to go back and seek treatment. The GOC reached out to her and promised that if she could take a few injections and compete for Ghana, they would be able to help her get surgery. She does that, goes to compete, wins a medal, and then after that, she claims, and we'll play the audio for you, that the GOC, she was specific. You mentioned the GOC president denied ever making her that promise. We'll hear from her and hopefully get a reaction from the GOC and look at the overall general issue of taking care of the people that die for this country. So there's all of that to come here on the show. And the guests are here very much seated. Sichofe Philip Atrim, Daniel Krante, Muftar Nabila Abdullahi will join us very shortly as well. Sicho, how are you doing, man?
See. Today, Al Nassr and Al Hilal, big game.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Yeah.
But
they're already champions, but
who cares though?
I do. Ronaldo is playing football. Who doesn't care?
I don't.
You're not serious.
I am serious.
No, you're not. Because if you're serious, you're following the best in the game.
He's playing well, I don't just follow individuals, okay?
No.
I don't just follow individuals.
You follow the sports.
I follow the sport.
Yes,
and I follow and I look at where the quality standards are.
And that is why Deschamps. That's why Deschamps went all the way to the Saudi Pro League to pick N'Golo Kante. He will start. He will play. Everybody playing in Europe will sit on the bench for him to start. It is name first, and everybody else will follow. He's in the Saudi Pro League. Ronaldo will captain Portugal. Ruben Neves will be at the Euros.
I didn't say I don't have a problem with that. That's not my.
And by say you don't follow. Who cares? I care because that's where the quality is. Okay. They are coming to the Euros.
I don't care.
I do.
I don't care.
I don't care. But who cares about what you care about? Who cares about what you care about?
Daniel Cranton, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very well.
You look well.
Yeah, and I'm very happy too.
Yeah.
The DNA is working.
It seems like it is working.
It's working. It doesn't
Lai doesn't seem impressed, so there must be some aspects of it that he's.
Oh, the Right to Dreams football that they've been playing, that Lai was coaching. He's brought that thing to the under 17. It's very clear. That Right to Dream, it's very very clear.
The DNA is working.
The Right to Dream style too.
It seems like it's
the Right to Dream style looks like.
Except Lai has some concerns. But yeah, listen.
I will get you.
The two of you, can you behave? Can you behave for me? Listen, speaking of Lai Kinsing, lots of people have been very impressed with him and the way his team played. Not he himself though. He didn't seem very impressed despite the 5-1 thrashing they handed out to Cote d'Ivoire. And there are legit reasons why Lai might not have been very impressed with the team's performance. Are there, or is he just overreacting like some people seem to be suggesting?
Throughout this preparation, everything that we played, we dominated play. Our last tournament in Russia, we lost against Russia, but we dominated play. Thumbs up to every coach. The Ivorians, they are a very good side. Most of my boys, first time playing such competition, home soil. I felt they were a little bit jittery. So with that, we have to manage and then try to take something out and then try and do our best. Sometimes we try to play 1, 2, 3 passes. But for me, as a technical person, I'm not satisfied with the way we play. We did not dominate play today. But hey, the up and coming games, this is our style. And you will see it in the way we play.
Legit point or a bit of an overreaction? It's caused it's splitting hairs on social media. I don't know about you guys. You've seen the game. My personal view is that if you watch the game, I can understand where Lai is coming from. I thought Cote d'Ivoire had some really good chances. So there were openings that should not have existed for the opponents, but they did. And if they were a bit more clinical, maybe we would not be speaking about the same scoreline. But those are all ifs and maybes. Bottom line is they won 5-1. So is it being a little too hard on the players? Or this is a legit Sicho?
Yeah, Fent. I think to understand what Lai is speaking about, you should have seen the team. Couple of some of the games they've played coming into the competition.
Right. The
way they want to play, the way they start games on their front foot. The way they keep the game under control. And in keeping the game under control, one of the things they do well is to not give away chances to opponents. And in the first 15 minutes in that game or so, the team had no control in the game. They were trying to be themselves. And a good coach identifies what the problem is. And I think Lai mentioned it. It's the first time the boys are playing in a competition like this, playing in front of their home crowd. Some of them would have had family members there. Some of them would have hood boys there. So the whole nerves and everything maybe then got to the team in the opening minutes. And it's in those opening minutes that a coach looks at the game and thinks that the game could have very much been lost in those opening minutes because goals do change games. If Cote d'Ivoire scores first and second, I guarantee you the face of the game changes. And the way the team or Ghana reacts also changes. And maybe with Ghana committing more bodies forward because they are chasing the game from the very early stages, it could also open them up. Yep. So from the technical viewpoint, the coach is right to say that as a technical person, he wasn't necessarily pleased with the output. Mind you, he's building a team to go and play in the World Cup. He's not only looking at a team that is going to win the WAFU. So when he starts identifying problems that in the near future could be problematic or could cause them big issues, he's within his right to point them out. And Lai is an experienced footballer who, when he played, we saw. And now as a coach, we've seen what he's been able to do with the youth team. So I kind of side with him. I understand where the reaction is coming from. For many people who have only seen his team play for the first time in that game against Cote d'Ivoire,
right,
they are looking at the 500 and thinking, come on, coach, the young boys, they won by 5 goals to 1. Why are you being so hard? But listen, the truth is, if you've seen them play prior to this game, you would know that this wasn't one of their best outputs, and the coach is demanding a certain level of excellence even from these young players. So I get him.
Daniel.
Yeah, I perfectly understand where Lai is coming from. Now, it's for me the interesting thing is as a people, those who are criticizing. Okay, we've been of the opinion, of the view that we need to find a certain identity that runs through our national teams.
Right.
Now we're on course to do that, and it means that it needs to be defined by a certain style of play. And if we are not seeing that style of play in the opening game of a competition that we are hosting, of course the coach has every right to call out his team. And he didn't just say that this was what happened. He also gave possible reasons why it happened. And then he went on to say it will change in the subsequent games because now they've gotten those nerves, they've brushed them aside.
Yeah.
If you've watched the competition they held in Russia, how they played, even the game against Russia, Ghana had I think it was about 65-70% possession in the game, controlling the game, dictating possession. That is what he wants to do. That is what we want, or that is how we want our teams to play. Possession-based attacking football, created a lot of chances. Unfortunately, in that game, we just couldn't take them. But in subsequent games, in the game against Kazakhstan and then Serbia, we saw the free-flowing attacking football, scoring goals. We saw glimpses of that against Cote d'Ivoire, but as Sicho said, we didn't control that game. We didn't have that game under our control. The fact that Cote d'Ivoire could also pick up the ball, string a few passes, carve us open, that is not the typical starlets that we've come to see over the last 6 months.
Actually, beyond that, even the team that he and Zito took to, I believe it was Russia again.
The one they beat Spain.
Yes. It was actually last year.
Yeah,
it was the same DNA, very similar players. Lai was assistant at the time.
Very similar style also. So he has every right to call it out. And again, this is the developmental stage. You are trying to get an identity. I understand you're also trying to instill that winning mentality. So once you've got half of what you are trying to do in getting the result, you also need to insist on some certain principles. And I'm not bet against the Black Stars. And in the game against Benin, we'll start seeing that style again that we've grown to see in the past 6 months. So I'm behind Lai. I like the fact that he has certain standards and he demands those standards in his team. And if for anything, the fact that he got the result, a very resounding result, and the fact that the team didn't even play to their ability and they were able to beat a rival team like Cote d'Ivoire, who also have a fantastic youth program going on there, it's something that we should commend him for. And again, we can only get behind him and hope that in the subsequent games we see that identity, that style come to bear.
Having said that, though, let's look at the game itself and the team itself. Lai has said that that he picked the team all by himself. He said he picked every single player in there. Obviously, that was in reaction to all the previous allegations and concerns about people, officials, always, infiltrating and dumping a lot of not so good players and into the national teams because of the whole idea of trying to do business. When the coach comes out to basically and very firmly say that I picked every single player in this lineup, and we see the way his team plays, we have reason to be hopeful that at least that independence is guaranteed now. Because in the past, some have said they picked the 10 players, and then after they leave the job, they go and do interviews and say, some people were pushing some players on me. At this level, and looking at the quality of players that we have, what are your thoughts on this squad?
Well, yes, and if Lai says he picked the team himself, I mean, you have to take his word for it. We've had no reason to doubt it now. I like that he's putting that across, because 2 years ago when Ghana hosted WAFU and I was lucky enough to be running commentary on that game,
Yeah.
the team was under so much pressure, because even for these young lads, because for all of those boys in the camp, the commentary around them were they didn't deserve to be there. They were better U17 players. These were players from the FA and their people. And even for those young boys, and I went to their hotel to have conversations with them in Cape Coast, and for them they were under immense pressure. Now what Lai has done by putting this across to diffuse all of that conversation to begin with.
Yes.
So before the competition even started, Lai has said that he picked this team. And that team wasn't also helped 2 years ago. It wasn't helped by the MRL scandal. I mean,
Actually,
a
that
team
was the biggest. That was
Yes.
the biggest problem.
Yes,
because
a
he
team
said 2 weeks to
2
the
weeks
start
to
of
the
the competition.
Great.
More than 10 players
Had to
failed-
be 10 crucial players.
Yes.
Had
who had
to
been
then-
part of the build-up for a long
He had
time.
been part of the everything.
And he said it was the FA president who ordered
ordered.
for an MRI scan.
And then the conversation was that it was deliberately because they wanted to take some players
Thank
out
you.
and bring in their own players. So
Thank you.
all of those distractions were around that team. They didn't do too well. They didn't do well in that competition.
Yeah.
Now Lai has taken all of that away and he's owned this team. Good thing for Lai though, he's had time, a lot of time, to prepare this team. So when you see the team play and you know Lai's background and you know what the FA wants to do with the DNA, they are thinking that that is perhaps truly his team. The other side too is, all these FA people, to be fair, they are running football clubs
Of course.
and they're looking for some of the best talents across the country. If they spot these talents and they hand it over to the U17 coach and he spends 10 months with them, almost a year with them, 2 years with them, and they are talented enough, they should be good enough to be coached at that level to play the way Lai wants to play. So now that Lai has owned the team and he has coached them to be playing the way we all enjoy watching, it's kudos to him. And I think that it takes all the negative conversation, all the pressure from the shoulders of these young boys. They only get on the pitch, listen to the gaffer, and get the job done. So yeah, the team looks very much like a Lai team. And credit to the FA. When they said they had a DNA, and in our mind, the DNA was the modern trend of football. There's no time and perhaps money to retrain all coaches in Ghana. So some of the things they did was to identify coaches who already aligned with that principle.
Right.
So Lai comes in and from what Lai did from Right to Dreams and what maybe the FA wants to do, it looks like they are very much on similar pages, on the same page. So it's a straight fit. So we see what Lai did with Right to Dreams happening in the U17, but that in line also looks like what the DNA entails. So brilliant.
Anybody who watched Lai Kingston's Right to Dream under 18 team,
Yeah.
they were an all-conquering team. Played fantastic
Yeah.
football all along.
Why
Daniel,
are you smiling, please?
I can't be happy.
I'm wondering what you're happy about. I want to join in the happiness, bro.
you know, and look, this is not to take credit away from anybody whatsoever, but granted, DNA or not, Lai was always going to play like this. He played like that at Right to Dream. We saw his under 17 team. They were an all-conquering team in Europe. They played brilliant football all along until he was no longer in a Right to Dream. Unless you didn't watch his Right to Dream team, then you would think that what his team is playing right now, it's something out of some rule book somewhere that somebody has created.
That is where massive
And
credit goes
That's
to
why I said
the FA.
that's not to take credit,
Agreed.
away from
But
anybody.
that is where massive credit even goes to them, because to
giving
identify
him
a
the
coach,
job.
to identify a coach who aligns, it's like Barca wants to hire a coach. Barca are not looking at hiring.
I
Jose
agree.
Mourinho.
I agree 100%.
You know?
And that is also, and sometimes, to be fair, even for journalists, there have been, I think there have been quite a number of us who have said from the very beginning when they made Lai Kingston the assistant that he should have been the coach right from the start.
Bro, the guy who was coaching from the start. He was paper. The guy was the one coaching that team.
Anyway, Daniel, certainly the quality of football we've seen from the team, fantastic at times, brilliant sometimes. But your thoughts on the quality of players in that squad? Because I have seen some individuals with some impressive technique.
Look, top team, and I'm not just talking about, or I'm not just basing this on what we saw in the first game. I'm talking about the competition in Russia. I was at the friendly last Thursday against Niger, where he played his first or his second team, quote unquote, in the first half, and then the team we saw against Cote d'Ivoire played in the second half. So I've got to see the entire pool of players. At least I've seen a couple of at least three times at least, yeah, when I say 3 times I mean at least in 3 different games, and I must say that they are top quality. And again, I want to touch on this. You see, the conversation around imposing players on managers, it is warranted when the players are not quality. Okay, there's a certain
Obviously.
yes, there's a certain quality standard. So me, I don't care if I'm the head coach of multimedia and friend is bringing me players because he's my friend, and the players meet that quality.
Yeah.
Once they meet that quality, there's nothing wrong with it. So once Lai has said that he went around himself scouting for players, I don't care who the players belong to.
That's right.
I don't care the clubs they play for. The point is, do they meet the quality? And from what we've seen over the past 6 months, these guys are top quality players. They are really, really good for their age.
He's on a
And-
good path.
Yeah, he's on a very good
They
path.
look young. They look young.
And you see, again, modern day football is not just about an assembly of top quality players. It's about identifying players who can play together in a team and in a system.
Yeah.
So
Chemistry is key.
it is very key. So it doesn't matter. And I always say, when it comes to national team football, in fact, modern day football, it doesn't necessarily, it's not all about the numbers. It's not all about what you do. Okay, this person's a left winger, this person's also a left winger, this person has got 10 assists, this person has 4, but this person's a team and this person. No, it doesn't
In
always.
summary, football is not all about
It's
goals.
not always about goals and assists. It's not always. The system and how useful you can be to the system
agree
and the
with
style
that.
of play,
I agree.
that is where you start from. So I'm really happy with what Laye is doing. And I like the fact that he said he played a very key part in identifying these players himself. And again, lastly, the DNA is working. Oh.
Thank you.
No, if you've watched the under-20 team and you've watched Laye's team, and most importantly, you've read the document,
That's right.
you can see some certain similarities. You see,
right.
they didn't just talk about free-flowing attacking football. There was an aspect in the document where they spoke about football in terms of possession style, players having a certain level of technique. But our players in Ghana, and that was one of the key points, our players in Ghana are very good in terms of technique when it talks about
They
ball.
call it the natural dispensation.
Thank you. They can dribble those
Yeah.
things, naturally skillful.
Yes.
So if you watch the two teams, both managers in Ofe and Laye have given certain players who we know possess that skill. So if you watch the under 17 team, Kagawa, Shivenu, the
Nabi.
captain, and Nabi, when they get the ball, they are allowed to express themselves. There's flair. Do you understand? When you watch the under 20 team, no, you look at the Sulemana boy.
Yes.
He was doing 360s and things in the final.
Brother,
And Ofe is clapping.
Brother, that is working. That
It's
is
working. The
That is-
DNA is
it's
working.
it's
And we
working.
should encourage it. But it will take time for
I
Otuado
agree,
to
I
get
agree.
there. So
Why?
relax.
And
How-
for me-
how-
so
how much
no,
time
hold
did it
on,
take?
hold
How
on,
much
hold
time
on.
did it take? How much-
Sicho, hold on.
how much time did it take?
I need to do an interview. I need to do an interview. Hold on. I think for me, like, the most impressive thing about this is also that we are, and Sicho mentioned it, and I'm just adding to what you said, that we need to give the FA credit.
Oh, yeah.
They're also picking very young coaches.
Yeah.
The under 17 coach, very young.
Yeah.
The under 20 coach, very young.
And the two coaches can actually swap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And they
so,
work. And they work.
Keto Greco, you are working.
And the
No,
Black Stars
Kets-
coach is also young.
The Black Stars coach is also young.
Yeah,
yes.
He's also young.
Challenge
No,
no, 48 years old. People, some way, but you.
Oh, but he's young. He's
Listen,
48 is cool.
there's still some conversation to be had regarding what's happening at the UG Stadium, because there are some people who are not happy with what is happening there. But this week, in fact, it was yesterday, Muftar Nabila Abdullahi called up, in the midst of all the conversation around athletes qualifying for the Olympic Games, one athlete's name has been notoriously missing, and that is Deborah Aqua. She, alongside Joseph Paulamwa, were the only athletes to win medals in the track and field at the Commonwealth Games for Ghana. They had done that for the first time in a very long time. But after that, she was at the Budapest World Championships as well. She came carrying an injury. Then she granted an interview with me there where she said that she had been carrying an injury since Oregon 2022. And she said she picked up that injury, opted not to go and compete at the Commonwealth Games, but then she was promised by people at the GOC who said, or who literally begged her to go and compete, and then promised that after competition, she would be helped to undergo surgery to fix her injury. Okay. Now, at the time she did that interview in 2023, August, she didn't mention who the GOC had made that promise. Until now. Yesterday in the interview, she name-dropped the GOC president, Bennu Mensah, and even went further in that interview yesterday to claim that Mr. Nunu Mensah denied ever making the promise to her after she tried to pursue the promise and ensure that she gets what she was promised to go and take care of herself. So bottom line, she's not been competing because she's still suffering from that particular injury. We have Mr. Bennu Mensah on the line to respond to those allegations and those concerns. But even before we go to her, let me just play Deborah's voice and what exactly she said to Muftau Nabila Abdullahi in that interview.
This was for me, but then I was doing it for the country as well. I had to kill myself to do all this. So I did, and then I remember after I was supposed to go get the medal. I think that was when the first time I met Mr. The GOC.
Bennu Mensah.
Yes, that was the first time I met him. I heard the name before, but then I not met him in person. So that was the first time I met him in person. So we talked about like what I'm going through and stuff like that, So I remember he told me that, if this is what I'm going through, then after the games we can go to Ghana, because I was supposed to go from Birmingham back to the US.
Okay.
So they had to, change my ticket to go to Ghana and then back to the US. So I can get treatment, there's some form of treatment. And if not, then they'll probably find something for me to, come back and then get the treatment myself. You understand? So that was the whole thing. That was what happened. So I was so shocked when they said, like, he didn't promise me or something like that. Because, like, I won't lie on, a great man like that. So that was what happened. So
he later said,
I went to Ghana.
He never promised you anything?
So he promised that, so the whole thing was to take me home to get treatment. And if I don't get to get a treatment, then they'll find something, I won't say money or whatever, for me to come here and get the treatment here in the US. Right. So then we all know what that meant. So we went to Ghana, I didn't hear from them. I think we were supposed to even go to see the president. We didn't get to see the president. I was supposed to even go back home, but because of the back and forth, not knowing where we're going to see the president, I think I only went home to spend, I think, a day with my dad and then back to Accra and then left. So that was what happened. And then I came back. I didn't hear from them again until the next year.
Okay, so that's Deborah speaking to Muftau yesterday in that interview, basically saying that even after the Commonwealth Games, she was asked to come to Ghana. The GOC got her a ticket to come to Ghana because she had no business coming to Ghana. After she won the medal, she was supposed to go back to the US for treatment. And the only reason she came to Ghana was because the GOC promised that they were going to take care of her once she came to Ghana. And they got her the ticket to come to Ghana instead of getting her the ticket to go back to where she came from. She came, waited. The support never came. And then she found her way back to the US. Mr. Bennu Mensah, I know you're a very busy man. Thank you for picking time to join us. You had Deborah there. Very disheartening to listen to. I'm quite heartbroken just listening to her. She won silver medal in the long jump at the African Games in 2019. Followed that up with another bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. So she's a national record holder in the long jump. This is a girl or young woman who has served her country very, very well.
Okay, so that I want to put that on record there. Secondly, if I didn't hear her speak, in fact, what happened this morning, I got an article sent by Nat to me. It was a Joy Online article. My first reaction was that, Nat, are you both sure that Deborah said what she was saying? Okay, but now I've listened to that because I said, no, she can't say that about me. It is not true. Okay. If you listen carefully, maybe something doesn't add up and maybe she's not matching things very well, okay? I met Deborah for the first and only time in Birmingham after her competition. I met her together with Mr. Cartufour. And then she told me she had been injured, for some time now, maybe like about 8 months. She told myself and Katu for, but she wouldn't even have come to the competition. Or she came to the competition and she competed on injury. Okay, so it means that I'm not the one who had convinced her to come to Birmingham. Whoever convinced her to come to Birmingham to come and run with the injury, that is not me. The GOC's work is that we just stay back and then the national federations bring their qualified athletes to us. We don't go beyond the national federations and go and collect their athletes and take them to competition. That is not what happens. Whenever there are competitions, especially where you need to do qualifying marks, okay, and Birmingham wasn't like that. They were, okay, the National Federation will see to it that their athletes qualify per their international federation standards, and then when they qualify, these athletes are given to the Ghana Olympic Committee to take to international competition. So that is what the GOC does. We don't own, in bracket, the athletes, or we don't control their day-to-day or whatever they do outside international games. However, because the GOC is interested in taking as many Ghanaian athletes to international tournaments as possible, we will go out of our way and find money for the national teams or for those federations to go to international competitions or qualifiers so they can qualify athletes for international competition. That is why you realize that, for instance, I'll use boxing as an example. We funded boxing to go to Senegal so they can go and sort qualification for Paris. It didn't happen. The GOC also still further went on and funded them to go to Italy to go and seek for qualification. It hasn't happened. We have gone ahead now to even fund them to go to Bangkok sometime next week to go and compete and get qualification for Ghana. It is not our day-to-day thing. It's not our mandate, but because we're interested in taking as many athletes to international competitions as possible, we support the national federations. National teams belong to the state. National teams are funded by the ministry. That is why when Black Stars are going for international competition, they don't come to the GOC. That is why when the football are going, they don't come to the GOC to funding. The least finance sports because they don't get enough money from the ministry. They will always come to us for support. And we too, as a policy, as my policy, we need to support government in whatever we're doing to develop sports. Because
well.
the Olympic Committees are developing sports on behalf of the IOC.
Yes, if you
while
don't
the
mind,
government, the ministry develops sports on behalf of the government.
Mr.
So we
Nunumensa,
have
can you hear
common
me?
interests.
Hello?
Yes.
Mr. Nunumensa, if you don't mind, I would like us to stick to the issue of Deborah and her allegations. What was the conversation you had with her specifically regarding her injury and where she is now? Because she's claiming now that you brought her to Ghana on the promise that you were going to take care of her. She came, she waited for a long time. Like you said, it's not your duty. But on this particular issue, she says you promised her and brought her to Ghana and promised to meet the president. Okay. She mentioned it. He said that all of that never happened. She went back and she never heard from the GOC. What was your conversation with her? Did you promise her or not?
Yes. My conversation with Deborah, when she said she'd been injured, I said, yes. You know, after the competition, come to Ghana. It's likely that the winners of those who won medals will meet the president. You need to raise that up. And of course, when we came, I raised it with the minister. Oh, I met Deborah. She's been injured. Okay. She came to Ghana, all right. The meeting with the presidency for medal winners never happened. But we made sure that whatever money was due her for winning medal, it was given to her. I think at the time the money was ready, she had left. I called her. She said she had asked somebody to come and collect it. The other promise I made to Deborah was that I was going to put her on Olympic scholarship, where on a monthly basis she can get something to take care of herself, her trading and other things, which I did. Deborah is currently on the GOC scholarship, where she gets $750 a month since after Birmingham, since after I've met her. You know, so as to the issue of an injury, one, I wasn't the one who convinced her to come. She was injured and she's finished the competition when I met her. I said, yes, you're a national star. When you get injured, we have to make sure, the state has to make sure that they are taking care of you. I don't know when she got injured, okay? And most of these things is done, is championed by the National Federation. Yeah, so she came down. We planned to meet the minister together with the president of the state. That never happened. However, when the money for her was ready, she had left. She said they should give it to her auntie or somebody. I can't remember the story. We made sure the person got the money. The other promise I made to her was to put her on the GOC scholarship, where she's going to get $750 a month. That was done. So those are things that are within the GOC's powers. Giving an athlete scholarship, that we can easily do it.
Let me get
but taking care of a national interest.
Yes, let me get clarification on the money that you're talking about that she made someone come for. Was that bonus for winning the medal or per diem or what kind? It
was bonus for winning medals and stuff like that. Not like the injury money. Okay.
Okay. Fine.
The other athlete who got injured, I think that must be in Tokyo. You realize that when he went to the ministry or when he was able to meet down as a boxer, the ministry funded his surgery or whatever. But Deborah, unfortunately, while he was here, was not able to meet the minister. And these are things that are championed by their national federations. I don't even know when she got it. I only came in to help.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, here's my other question. You mentioned the Olympic scholarship. Obviously, Deborah is not the only one on it. There are quite a number of athletes who are on that Olympic scholarship. Exactly. And the Olympic scholarship is per Olympic cycle from a previous competition to the next one. So this one that Deborah is on is from the Tokyo one leading to Paris. And when were they put on this scholarship? This was right after the games?
It was right after Birmingham. Scholarship application takes a while.
Okay, so
the Olympic Games was done in 2021 instead of 2020, so kind of affected the cycle.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
Application for scholarships didn't happen in 2021. It was done in 2022.
And given Deborah's performance in the years leading to that, to her being put on the Olympic scholarship, it didn't matter if she was injured or not, or that you were trying to help her with the injury. She definitely, per performance, would have been one of those that merited that scholarship. I think that is...
of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
So,
scholarships are given based on your performance. You can submit names, and if you don't meet the criteria...
Yes. I just wanted to establish that because I don't want people to misconstrue her being put on the scholarship as a way of atoning for whatever promise in quotes.
No, not at all.
Exactly. So I wanted to establish that.
Yes, but what I promised her that, look, we're going to get you on the GOC scholarship as well, so that at least it can help you with your competition, with your training. As for your injury, if you're a national star, the state has to make sure that you're being taken care of.
Okay.
Or you were competing for the country and you got injured, even though I don't know where the injury happened. I'm sure if you speak to Athletic Association, they'll be able to tell exactly when that happened. But I'm only telling you promise because you're asking the discussion that went on. And this discussion was together with Mr. Katufo. So it's not like something we had there. And I have been communicating with Deborah recently. I sent her, hi, how you doing? Cham. So when
was the last time she raised an issue with this whole treatment money thing?
No, she has never. Since after Birmingham, we've never raised issue.
Not
we've
with
never
you personally.
Spoken about issue. It was that I was checking up if she could qualify because when one of our meetings on Paris, I said, Deborah could be one or so. Let me just say hi to her and find out how she's doing. Seriously, I didn't even know she's on injury because once we put you on Olympic scholarship, I would believe that you go to as many competitions as possible so that you can qualify. So I'm even surprised to hear she's still suffering from the injury. But I'm sure, like I said,
I think it's obvious that injuries like that they need surgery, and $750 a month with rent, training, and all these things. Obviously, I think we can all agree that it's vastly inadequate to be able to support any form of surgery that is required. And for an injury that has lasted as long as it has since 2022, without that surgery, it's very difficult to see a way back for her, even on the Olympic scholarship. Clearly, that would be, that is inadequate.
As you just established, the Olympic scholarship is not given to her to take care of her injury, okay? Yes. I assume that once you are put on a certain level of stipend, it makes competing or competing for qualification to the next Olympics much easier for the injury not beside. I mean, I'm not going to say that is being given to her for the injury. No.
Here's my next
the
question.
Injury as a nation, when our athlete is injured, we need to take care of the injury.
Okay.
The athletes. They were competing, they were fighting for Ghana. Yes. It is all of us our responsibility.
It is.
And speaking of the athletes, we need to champion that.
Yes. Speaking of
if the footballer is injured, I'm sure Ketu Kweku would not sleep and make sure that, look, if the ministry has to go and take the athlete to surgery or whatever it is, because CAD is dealing directly with the athlete.
Yes.
The GOC, until international games, we don't deal directly with athletes.
So you're saying that, so if I understand you well, what you are saying is that Ghana Athletics is at the crux of this matter. They're critical in trying to address the full scale of what's happening to Deborah. Okay, very well. We will call Mr. Bao.
I'm sure when Deborah got injured, she probably would have, that was before 2020, she would have told them. I hope that's what she did. And then whoever convinced her to come to Birmingham must be from Ghana Athletics. Yes. Because I only met her after the competition. So I wasn't the one who convinced her to come to Birmingham. I only met her after she's won her medal and said, oh, is that what your problem is? And then Cartufo said, look, no, the state has to make sure that you go through surgery. And that we tried with the ministry.
Okay.
But if she had kept Ghana Athletics in tune with her health progress, I'm sure they would have pushed and make sure that the state did whatever they have to do to make sure she gets back into running shape.
All right. We know that multi-sport events usually fall right at the doorsteps of the GOC, not in terms of just funding, because obviously you don't have a lot of money for that, but in terms of organization. African Games, Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, all of these, every time it has to do with the multi-sport event, the GOC is at the center of it. Now, we know that there is a certain trend that is happening with regard to promising and failing athletes. And one of them right now, as we speak, has to do with the African Games. And it might be a bit unfair that I'm asking you this question, but I think you also have a role to play. We promise athletes bonuses for winning medals at the African Games, $3,000 for gold medal, $2,000 for silver, $1,000 for bronze. It's 2 months after the games. The athletes have not heard from the ministry who made the promises. You don't work for the ministry, but the African Games, in terms of organization, you had a role to play as well. What, from your office point of view, what has been the conversations that have been had regarding this? Because it's quite unfair that we would make these kinds of promises to these athletes. They come and work really hard to win these medals, and then they don't hear back. Like you said, we have Olympic Games coming up. These athletes, these monies could have gone a long way to helping them prepare for qualifiers. We are struggling to get athletes to qualify for the games. So any amount of money to enter competitions would be critical. Have you had any conversations with anyone at the ministry or at the African Games local organizing committee on this matter?
Okay, so Muftar, thank you. Before I answer your question, one, yesterday I spoke to the chief director at the ministry and I was told the athletes were being paid. Okay, those who won medal were being paid. Two, I want to also
They've started the process of paying them.
Yeah, yesterday. Okay. Two, I want to put it on record that the Ghana Olympic Committee has no hand in the organization and the delivery of the African Games. I, myself, and Mr. Samson Lee, who is also the president of the NPC, serve on the LOC in our capacities as such. It is not the GOC who also pays bonus to athletes when we go for international competition. It is the government who does that. So these are the corrections I want to make.
No, I think we established that. Like I said, that's why I started by saying that it might sound a bit unfair.
Said that, your real question, I think the ministry is taking steps to pay these athletes, as was said to me by the chief director yesterday, because one of the athletes had called me, so I called the chief director. Chief director said, athletes they are complaining, and then he said, we started paying them. You come to my office, you can see the footballers are here, the male, we finished the male, was starting with the females and stuff like that. So I want to believe that as of yesterday, the ministry is taking steps to pay them. It is not the GOC. We have never promised athletes to give them something and we don't give them.
All right,
no, that is not the way the GOC works.
Mr. Benunu Mensah, President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, thank you for speaking to us and for offering
Thank
us
you
the
so much.
clarifications
And all the
that you
best to
brought.
you guys.
Thank you very much. Benunu Mensah is President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, speaking to us and providing some perspective or reaction of his own on this whole Deborah matter. He says, first of all, let me just summarize what he said. One, he didn't promise her that if she comes to compete, he would take care of her injury. He only met her after the games, after she won the medal, and she told him her problem, and then he said, okay, if that's your problem, then let's go to Ghana, let me see how I can help you. He came, he obviously didn't get the kind of help he wanted to get for her by meeting the president and all those other things, so she had to leave. And then when she left, whatever bonus became available per the medal she won, she sent someone to come for it. But regarding the injury, she doesn't remember specifically offering her his own help and saying that if you win the medal, we'll take care of your injury. That's his reaction. Muftau, you did that interview. Are you satisfied? What is lacking? Who is not telling the truth fully from your interactions?
So, it's quite complex. The truth is only one. And the truth is within Deborah and Benunu Mensah. I read the course of the interview you had with her. And you made that clear.
In Budapest.
Yes. And you made that clear when you were asking Benunu Mensah the question. Where I found a gap was where Deborah said that she met Benunu Mensah after winning the medal. But in that interview with you, she said she was asked to come and compete. And that if she comes to compete, they were going to get her treated. Now the question is, who asked you to come from Oregon to come and compete at the Commonwealth Games with your injury, and after that would treat you? I remember.
Benunu Mensah seems to suggest that is the Ghana Athletics, because he says they are responsible for fielding the athletes.
Yes.
So I said he seems to suggest.
Which is true. It is a responsibility of Ghana Athletics. But following this interview, which is a standard practice that I have always done, when I speak to someone and the person makes allegations against another person, I place a call to you. Like I mentioned to you this morning about the Deborah interview, it was, the initial plan was to air it next week. So if I were to air it next week, I would have spoken to Benunu Mensah to get his angle and all that. Mm-hmm. But I did speak to Bar,
President of Ghana Athletics.
Yes, Ghana Athletics, to ask him if, because in the interview, like an hour interview, she made a plethora of allegations. One of them is that Ghana Athletics called her and promised to give her some money to treat her injury and come and compete in the African Games. She made an allegation that her school needed a letter from Ghana Athletics so that they could allow her to use the facilities to train. The letter never came. She also alleged that they gave athletes Joe Paul and then James Darcy $8,000. She was expecting to get same, but she was told because Benunu Mensah promised to give her a support to treat her injury, they didn't give her anything.
Hold on a second. You're telling me right now,
Yes.
that in Budapest,
Yes.
when the Ministry of Youth and Sport
Yes.
made a decision
Yes.
to give monies to the
Two
injured
athletes, yes.
James Darcy and Joseph
Paul
Polamo,
yes.
who were injured in their heats and didn't even compete in the 4x1,
Yeah.
the ministry thought this is a good idea to help them go and treat themselves, offered them money.
Yeah.
Deborah was present at that competition, but she was denied
Yes.
money despite the fact that she was carrying an injury
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Allegedly.
That's what she told me.
No, I want to establish that that's what she said.
That's what she said. She told me. And that after they gave the money.
And the reason was that.
So I'm not coming to the reason.
Yes.
After they gave the monies to Joe Paul and James Darcy, she went to Bar of Hussein to ask Bar, I heard you've given monies to James Dazi and Joseph Paul Amoa. I thought I would also get some.
Because I'm also injured.
Because
Establish that.
I'm also injured.
Right.
And that Bauer told her no. Bauer told her no because, one, she got injured while in school. And that, according to her, Bauer told her that because she got injured while in school, she was not going to get the money. The money was meant for the athletes who got injured during the Budapest Championships. But she was like, prior to this competition, James Dazi was injured. It was known by everyone.
I think we knew that.
Yes.
He had been injured in school.
In school for
He
a long
hadn't
time.
competed for a long time. We were not even sure he was going to come.
Yeah.
Prior to the competition, Joe Paul was injured. Everyone knew that. But you still gave them monetary support.
That's right.
Why are you not giving me? Why me? It was then that Prof. Andrew came and told her that
And
you
you
grant-
former athlete,
yes,
record holder.
yes,
triple
you
jump.
granted an interview and said someone promised you money or support. So we would go back to Ghana and go and ask the person.
I'm going to pursue that money for you.
If the
Basically.
person confirms that, yes, I made a promise to her, then they will get the money for her. Other than that, she was not going to get money in Budapest. And she never got a penny from them.
So from Birmingham, she came to Ghana, chased a promise, didn't get it, went back. Then went to Budapest to compete. Obviously, still carrying an injury, didn't do too well. Right in front of her, they shared money, didn't give her.
Didn't give her a
She
penny.
went back home empty-handed,
Yes.
still with the same injury.
Yes.
I can't see that to be fair. And even if, look, listen, and even if she got injured in school,
In school, yeah.
and the others didn't get injured in school, which she has established to be false, that the others also got injured in school.
Yeah.
Even if she did that, she did get injured while in school, and she had come to compete, still was able to win medals for the country
Yeah.
while competing with an injury. Do we not owe an obligation to her to take care of her?
I asked her this question. She said it is the prerogative of the state.
no, it's true, because what, she should find money, treat herself, then come back and compete for
Come and
Ghana.
compete for Ghana, yes.
Because like it's a question I wanted to ask Benunu Mensah before he left the corps. That even if you didn't make the promise, what other efforts have you made personally, even through Ghana Athletics, or to lobby at the ministry
Just to
to
help
get
her.
her help
Just to help.
for the injury, specifically for the injury?
No, so what I found quite weird was the fact that even if you were giving Joe Paul $5,000, James Dazi $3,000, and she was also there, give her just $1,000. It changes nothing.
But that's, you are talking to the ministry, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just give her
The
$1,000.
deputy minister shared the money. I was there.
Yeah, I remember.
I was there.
Yeah, you were in that hotel.
Because the minister was in the.
You say I shouldn't do the story. you.
I said what?
You said I shouldn't.
No,
do
I
the
did the
story.
story. I published the story.
No. The one that she mentioned the name. I was going to.
But that was off air. She didn't say that one in the interview.
Because it was off air. But now
But
she
has eventually come out.
but now she's put it on record.
You should have made me do that thing.
So it's
But that would not have been fair to her.
It's now on record. I quite find quite disheartening that she's been made to go through all this. But like you mentioned, maybe we need to get Ghana Athletics. When the allegations
Can
were
you call
made,
Bar for me?
I spoke to Bar. I asked him.
I said call Bar for me. You say you spoke to Bar.
Yes, I said because no, it's a normal thing I do. When I interview
I'm
someone
not
and you make
saying-
allegations,
I'm not-
I call you and ask you. This person has said A, B, C about you.
Okay.
So
you
the
spoke
Bar
to
said-
Bar. What did Bar say?
Okay, this was what Bauer said. Because it's off-record conversation, I will just state certain things that I can put
The
on
ones
record.
that address the issue specifically.
One, Bauer indeed confirmed that she was told she got injured in school and that the money was meant for the athletes who got injured during the competition. Bauer
Okay.
confirmed that.
Okay.
Bauer again said that at no point did Ghana Athletics call her specifically and asked her to come and compete in the African Games. And before she comes, they were going to give her money to treat herself. Bauer said that call was made by a vice president of Ghana Athletics and not Ghana Athletics.
Who was the vice president at the time?
Charles, no, even now, but this is the vice president. Charles Osiasibe, he made that call.
I made that promise.
He made that promise.
Charlie, the promise is going around. So how many names?
See the way
The
TK
promise
look
is
me.
going around, and the
Even teachers are
institutions
shocked.
are not claiming it. They are putting it
That's
on
why every
individuals.
time somebody else's
No.
name is being
Fence.
dropped,
Fence.
it means Deborah is not lying.
We are talking about organizations, committees, associations that are hugely disorganized. Hugely.
I'm very disappointed with the way this matter has been
Hugely,
handled,
because
honestly,
because to be fair, there should be a proper document that backs how injured athletes are dealt with.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's
And the
right.
figure attached to it. And you see, you can't even attach any figure to injury because every injury and its
It
treatment.
varies.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that if an athlete gets injured, I'm taking that responsibility. The knowledge of the figure attached to that injury is injury specific.
Yes.
So if somebody's hip bone is broken, it's not the same as somebody's fingernail.
Or
So you can't say you're giving somebody $1,000 because the person is injured. That $1,000 could be peanuts for an injury that costs
Exactly. Yeah.
20,000
to do.
to treat and rehab.
Yeah.
Because injuries for sportsmen is not only about the treatment, it's about the rehab as well, and how the physios are going to take you through. So we have associations or federations or committees that are incredibly disorganized, and that is why somebody can tell you that based on an interview you granted and said somebody promised you money for treatment, we are holding on to money for you. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
If you're supposed to give me, the association is supposed to give me money to treat me
Yeah.
as an athlete, and somebody has promised me some money, it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the money you are
The two
supposed
are not even related.
it doesn't matter.
You still owe me.
So
That's
to
the
even
point.
tell me that because you heard me grant an interview about Tio, it's not documented though.
That is victimization, actually.
But
That-
this one,
that you let me grant-
this one,
it doesn't make
if he
sense.
joins sports, he calls out.
No, if you just possible on earth arm, you know you
no,
actually
that's what we are doing.
seriously.
Taiwo.
We are unraveling a mystery.
Me,
Yeah.
you see, the part that bothers me most, these two parts.
Yes.
The first thing that Situa said, and this one. Before James Darcy's race, didn't we know that heavily strapped his
yeah.
hamstring?
Yes, we saw it in training.
Is it not a coach who said that hamstring? If you think about it, that's when it will come.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Elon.
Then he started not hamstring not
Ati.
So is it because Deborah no? While she was doing her thing, she didn't do
Some
Ajay
hold-
and hold her this thing.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes. So her injury is not considered Birmingham injury.
Birmingham injury.
No,
Before
Budapest injury.
Budapest injury.
Like how do you come about this thing?
Fence.
Because she didn't shout that something is paining me during the competition, then it means that the injury was not there. What are you telling us?
That makes sense.
Charlie.
And so listen, Ghana Athletics, Ghana Olympic Committee, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Vice President, President, whoever is responsible for this, obviously a promise was made because, and even if a promise wasn't made,
The thing is,
it's a national.
none
I
of them have denied anything that the girl has said.
True.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
None of them. The thing is that everybody's just dodging responsibility.
the only thing they have denied is not me.
It's not me. Yeah. This thing they happened, but it's not
wasn't
me.
me. It wasn't me.
He said, go and ask this person.
No, but the point is that when you listen to Deborah and you listen to Benunu Mensah, the only difference here is that Ghana Olympic Committee did not ask her to come and compete with the injury. That's the only difference. And she never even said in that interview I had with her that Ghana Olympic Committee asked her to come and compete with the injury and that they were going to give her something.
No, but I see, friend,
She never said.
a quick one. This point just hits me.
Yes.
There's another reason why when we are going for some of these competitions, the tag-alongs, the people who just come because they are there, see the way Benunu Mensah has conveniently said GOC is not responsible for athletes, it's Ghana Athletics. And he's using that to escape that he's the one who spoke to the athlete and said she should come. From the athlete's point of view, you are an official. You are a big person. So if you tell me this, it must hold some weight.
Yeah.
It is like Black Stars going to AFCON. Then Bawa Hussein is telling Kudus that, you play with injury. When you come back, Kudus will take him seriously because he knows that.
Yeah.
That's the same way. But you see, in this instance, because these people have followed the team for so long, the athletes view them as officials. Officials who can actually make things happen
to
for
be
them.
fair, like Mr. Benunu Mensah said, Africa Games, they had nothing to do with it. Commonwealth Games, that is right at their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So if the GOC president says something to an athlete at the Commonwealth Games,
It matters.
It matters.
it carries weight.
Carries weight.
Big weight. So listen, whatever happens, bottom line, we've wasted 2 years of this girl's career. And quite frankly, we might have ended it from the way things have gone, because
Carrying injury for like
she's
1.5
won 2 medals for this country at 2 different competitions. And I guarantee you that Deborah would have been a medal winner in Accra if we treated that injury and brought her here.
She would.
You understand? Now, for the last 2 years, since Budapest, in fact, she hasn't trained. She can't even, the point with Talmud, she can't even train at the school because she's completed school. So now the school has told her that you're no longer our student, you're no longer on scholarship here. We have other athletes that need the facilities. Don't
busy.
That's right. So
It's
don't
busy.
come and train here. Now, she said there was a way she could keep competing, she could keep training at the school. All it needed was for Ghana Athletics to write a letter to say this girl is still a national athlete, and based on our relationship with you, we plead with you to allow her to keep competing at the school. They didn't give her the letter according to her, Mufta, correct?
She said
That
it
was- how many paragraphs?
It was later in January, just prior to the African Games, that Bauer got in touch with her and asked her how they should couch the letter and where they should address the letter to and all that. And at that point, she was frustrated. She said she was angry, so she never even bothered.
So it's when a major competition has come. That's when we remember that.
That is where-
So Africa Games were 2 months away. Now
Yeah,
they call
She
us-
can start training 2 months to games.
Yeah. Ghana.
Sorry, we
But
spoiled
But
it,
when
we
I
spoiled
called
it.
Bauer denied this. When I asked Bauer, he denied
The letter part.
the letter part.
Maybe
He
ask
he
Osasi,
said
maybe
he
Osasi
said
was the one who got it from
he like when
check
he
like
got
he
in
did
touch
the
with her.
topic.
First, the girl asked for a letter. He asked her how they should write the letter. Give me details so that Ghana Athletics can write the letter and send it to the school.
Okay.
According to Bauer, she never gave them the details. But the girl also says she gave everything to Ghana Athletics. Ghana Athletics only Bauer only got back to her prior to the African Games. And all this happened somewhere August, September last year.
So she was angry about the late response.
And she said
Like
even
this.
the call
Lucky.
from Charles Osasibe got her angrier than more. Yeah.
Interesting.
Some way.
Ghana sports. I don't know, man. But listen, the show is proudly brought to you by Petrosol. Your messages are welcome. 055-111-1997. Let me know what you make of all these. Also, if you're listening to us and you want to share your opinion on X or Twitter, just use the hashtag GamePlan. I've seen some messages there. I'll read them. I'll share them with the rest of our listeners from across the country. But let me tell you this. Every drop matters just as every penny counts when it comes to buying fuel. So know that good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs. So at these very, very interesting times, take no risk. All you need is value for your money. So look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station for your clean, accurate quantity fuel suitable for new technology vehicles. So be a happy customer, fill with smiles, drive more miles, and save some money. Petrosol, your clean, quality fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Let me also tell you about the voter registration exercise, okay? It's very important. Listen, pick your voter ID card, put it every day you go to bed. Pick it, put it under your pillow. Because December will be crucial. I'm not saying crucial. So as we approach a crucial, look, I didn't write it to lose. I did. Oh, hold on. Your mic was off. What did you say?
But you are a driver.
I am.
We are mace.
Listen, I was going to an LPM that says crucial. So you won't let me finish.
I said because you're a driver and we are mace. You don't do it like that.
I see what you are doing there. I see what you are doing. I see what you're doing, Muftau. But please keep it to yourself. I don't want any trouble. But the new force says that as we approach a crucial moment, you see, that's why I was using the word crucial a lot. New force says, as we approach a crucial moment in our nation's history, it's time for us all to stand up and make our voices heard. So are you ready to be part of shaping our future, Sicho?
Ask you a question. You know what?
Say again.
Are you ready to be part of shaping our future?
I've been part since nobody now starts making no money.
Have you ever found yourself frustrated with the state of affairs in our country?
Every day.
Every single day.
Hey,
even
Do
now.
you long for
Yesterday,
change?
Yesterday the place was
Every day,
flooded, so I
every
was
day.
frustrated.
Now, keep quiet.
Every
New
day.
Force is
I want-
asking
I want
questions.
change.
Just respond as I ask them.
I want change
Okay.
every day.
Have you ever found yourself frustrated with the state of affairs in our
Every
country?
single
Yes, sir.
minute.
Every
Do
day.
you long for change?
Plain
Yes.
change for
For
happen.
progress?
Yes.
I'm telling you.
For a better tomorrow?
Give
Yes.
Well, guess what?
Tell me.
Change starts with you.
Easy.
But wait. But wait. Are you missing something essential for this change to happen? Ah, yes, you are. I'm talking about your voter ID card.
What am I one day?
If you've lost it or never had one, now it's time to act. Don't let others decide for you. Don't stay silent. Get up, get out there, and get your voter ID card today. Make sure you are ready to make a difference when the time comes. New voter card registration begins from 7th to 27th of May, and on May 30th, you can get your missing voter ID cards replaced at the EC district offices. Don't miss this moment, because this is your time to be heard. The future of our nation is in your hands. Don't delay. Act now. For support and enquiries, visit The New Force GH at The New Force GH all around social media. A message from The New Force. That's right.
That's
Whoever
for
wrote this LPM,
It's for there.
oh, it's for there. It's for
Check
there.
like the EC staff for pay the person because he do advert for the EC.
Thank you. Do that thing for EC. Do that thing for EC.
Yeah.
He asked the most relevant questions.
Yeah. You are all frustrated.
Brother. The
want
questions
change.
that will stoke your emotions.
Yeah. It's for there.
Anyway, listen, if you're a valid customer of GCB, it is crucial. Hey, everybody's using the word crucial.
Everybody's
Yeah, we are in
using-
crucial times. GCB says it's crucial in today's dynamic market
No,
environment.
today be crucial show
Crucial
today.
show.
What a crucial show.
It is crucial in today's dynamic market environment to stay informed about the performance and status of your shares. To facilitate this, we kindly request you to update your records with us. You can conveniently do so by visiting the nearest GCB Bank branch or by accessing our website gcb.com.gh. By keeping your records current, you enable us to provide you with timely updates and notifications related to your shares. Your investment matters to us, and we are committed to delivering reliable services that cater to your financial needs. Don't miss out on important updates that could impact your investment decisions. Take a moment to visit us today at any of our branches nationwide and ensure that your records are up to date. GCB, your bank for life. And Abuaji and his people too are back. They're back. Big time. Big time. Big time. Now, after a record 13 rounds of Olarotimi's The Gods Are Not to Blame, Image Bureau, April Communications, and the National Theatre have reconvened for another theatrical adventure. This June, dive deep into the heart of Ghanaian theatre as Now Ashoko makes her directing debut with The Legend of Akusika in honor of the writer Professor Martin Owusu. Book a seat now for a mind-blowing dramatic experience with some of the finest talents in the business. Mauli Semevo, Edna Matachi, Elvis Crystal, Arnold Asamoah Beidu, and the first time on stage, Adoma, I saw Arnold in one of the rehearsal videos. He was running away from I don't know what. You this Abuaji guy. Come, let's celebrate the legendary professor on Saturday 1st, Sunday 2nd, Saturday 8th, and Sunday 9th of June at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day at the National Theatre. Tickets are selling fast for only 200 Ghana cedis. Just go to imagebureaugh.com or dial *714 *11 *21 hash. That again, *714 *11 *21 hash. The Legend of Akusika is supported by the Ghana Tourism Authority, Neplans Car Rentals, MGL Logistics, Joy FM, Hits FM, Joy Prime, Daily Guide, Graphic Communications Group, and proudly brought to you by Stanbic Bank, the National Lottery Authority. The Legend of Akusika Theatre doesn't get better than this. And one last thing to tell you, the Save Ghana Fund. Are you tired of the same old political rhetoric? Do you believe it's time for change that truly represents the voices of our youth, women and children? We're introducing Nana Kwame Bediako, the presidential candidate who is not just promising change but actively working to make it happen. Nana Bediako is not your typical politician. That's right. Sicho, are you listening to this one?
Give it to me.
Champion. We are introducing Nana Kwame Bediako, the presidential candidate who is not just promising change, but actively working to make it happen. Nana Bediako is not your typical politician. He's a visionary leader with a passion for making our country better through innovative industrial revolution. Together, we can change the political narrative and create a government that truly represents the interests of all citizens. Join Nana on this journey to build a better and inclusive future for all by contributing to the Save Ghana Fund campaign. This is we're raising money here. Save Ghana Fund campaign. Your support, no matter the amount, is not just a donation. It's an investment in the shared desire for a more prosperous, equitable, and better nation. Just visit www.nkb.com.gh or dial *887*2024# to donate. Listen, what he's doing, Nana Kwame Bediako, what he's doing is that he's raising funds to support his campaign. If you go to America, campaign donation is a big deal. So he too has done radio LPM, so we should donate money. So go and donate the money to support the campaign. Okay, if you want Ghana to change, go and donate money to support the campaign. We beg you. Lexis Bill, what is your problem?
Alexis shut down.
No,
I'm even surprised.
Thank you. The donation, no. You and Lexis no donate for my furniture.
Come and take donation. Come and take the money. You see, you come to shame me on radio. This guy.
I used to taking donations.
Yeah, still taking donations.
In fact, now I have donated 60 dual desks.
Wow. Okay, congratulations. That is how his political career is beginning. But
For me, you tell me the unit cost of the desk, I'll buy it myself.
It's 340 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, I'll buy it
You can
per
buy.
one.
Yeah.
So with 3,400, you can buy 10 desks.
Yeah, I can buy 10.
And they are dual desks.
Yes, yeah.
They see 2 or
yes,
3?
They see 2.
They see 2?
Yes.
So we can put with 3,400
For more than one school, right?
No, one school.
No. This one
This
school for now.
You see what he's doing?
Oh no, but I saw some tweets you were saying some people to
I said plenty schools
Are reaching out. But
are
for now,
reaching
but you
out.
are not helping them yet.
No, not yet.
Are
But
you-
One at a time.
I know. Let me
The
do
one at a time, it's in his hometown, his village.
No, actually, I started with Drew before the others started calling me.
Fair
No,
enough.
but
So
you're not
let me
helping the
finish
others.
with
Stop
you.
talking about the others. It is do you are concentrating.
No,
on.
but there are some people have made pledges. So when they honor their pledges, then I go attend to the other school.
There's
Maybe
a-
by the time the pledges go come, like someone even said by June. So by the time he
But
comes,
were you not the one who said on radio that the vice president's mother, Baumia's mother, is from Du?
no, I said his mother's village is 5 minutes drive away.
So why are you attaching? How is it related?
It is related because if when he's passing by, he will see it.
All right, we'll be right back. I've got your messages here on the show. We've got plenty to talk about. Chicho has a certain topic. He says Gary Southgate is the best fit for the Man United job. We'll hear his reasons right after this.
So for one final time.
Inside the final. Into the final.
Catch the final days of the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the UEFA Champions League, and other major cup finals from May to June. Stay connected to GoTV to witness live in all the finals on GoTV. Even when the last whistle is blown, it's not over yet. Brace yourself for the UEFA Euros 2024, only on SuperSport. GoTV, love it.
You're welcome to the maiden edition of the Joy News Impact Makers Award.
Tonight we gather here to honor and celebrate individuals.
We celebrate the goodness in our humanity.
And create more inclusive, compassionate, and thriving societies.
The overall winner, Isaac Ajato.
In a land where dreams are often cradled in the arms of hope, there exists a league of unsung heroes. They are the silent architects of change, the torchbearers who illuminate paths where once there was only darkness. From the verdant stretches of our farms to the innovative labs of science, from the warm embrace of humanitarian aid to the simplest acts of kindness. These are the changemakers who sculpt the future of our nation, stitch by stitch. Unknown to them, their acts of selflessness have resonated across the land, stirring the hearts of many and sparking a movement of recognition and celebration. It's that time of the year again. Joy News proudly presents the Impact Makers Awards 2024. Join us in our quest to spot and honor those steadfast warriors who are remolding the destiny of our communities and our nation. This is your moment to nominate the unsung hero in your midst, the beacon of change whose story deserves to be told. To nominate your Impact Maker of the Year, send your entries to impact.makersawards@myjoyonline.com. Let's amplify their stories. The Joy News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impact.
GH Ghana, are you ready for the biggest football night? The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2024. The clock is ticking towards the UEFA Champions League finale. The heat is on. The Spaniards, Real Madrid, clash with the Germans. Borussia Dortmund for the UEFA trophy. Which team are you rooting for, or are you against for shaggy reasons? Wear your favorite UEFA club jersey and join us at the Viation Social Center on Saturday, 1st June 2024 for the 13th edition of the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey from 10 a.m. till you drop. Come compete into clubs fun, entertainment, and other activities. We got sports quiz, five-a-side soccer, e-game contest, and many more with amazing prizes to be won. Be there to watch the climax of football's greatest story. Hala Madrid versus the Black and Yellow in grand style on a giant screen. Follow us on our social media platforms. Hashtag Hits Rep Your Jersey 24. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey is supported by Joy Sports and Joy Prime TV and sponsored by Soccer Bet. Your best bet for sports betting. Shelters lozenges. Think natural, think Shelters. Heineken. Share the passion. National Petroleum Authority. Jamar Detergent. Your partner for clean clothes. Syntex tanks. You're strong, you're tough. Peugeot from Silver Star Auto. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still Foam Papa Power Fie. Citizen Sports Mall. Ice Drop Drinking Water. Stay healthy, stay hydrated.
Did you know high blood pressure can lead to stroke, kidney and heart diseases? Did you also know over 1 billion people worldwide have high blood pressure? Check and control your blood pressure if you have high blood pressure. Roll up your sleeves, go for screening, and know your numbers. Hypertension is a silent killer. Measure your blood pressure, control it, live longer. This message is sponsored by Novitas.
Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, welcome back. This is Game Plan 99.7 Joy FM, also on Hits 103.9 FM. My name is Fento Tahir Fento. Welcome to the show. Again, if you've just joined us, we've been on from 1:15. We're on till 3 p.m. It's currently 36 minutes after 2 p.m. here in the studio. Now, escape the hustle and bustle with Ariel's coaching at the City Escape Women's Wellness Retreat. So if you're feeling stressed, tired, or just in need of a break, join the Ariel Wellness Coach for a truly exciting and relaxing experience. Learn to deal with stress, recharge your energy, and live with a new sense of peace and happiness. Discover how to create a beautiful life with yourself, powered by physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Unplug, reset, reflect, and refocus with us from May 17th to the 20th at the Reddington Beach Resort in the Volta region. Single occupancy is 4,999 and sharing is 3,799 Ghana cedis. Your package includes 3 nights accommodation, transportation, wellness coaching sessions, ladies jam night, meals, boat ride at Chill River Resort, fitness sessions, bonfire, and so much more. It is, of course, sponsored by Sleek Homes, Akosoma Textiles, Sekibi, Black Secret, Oe Bags, Kiami, Skin Gourmet. You can call 0243 600 899 to register and for inquiries. You're worthy of self-love and, of course, thriving life experience. All right. Listen, we are on the home stretch of the Premier League season. Obviously, the last day of the season is on Sunday. All matches kicking off at 3 p.m. It's a big deal. The Premier League title not decided. Certainly, between what is decided is that it's going to be between two teams, Arsenal and Manchester City. Arsenal play Everton. Man City take on West Ham. Man City are on the driving seat. They just need to win to secure the title. Any other result other than that, an Arsenal win, then surely Arsenal will win the title. A draw for Manchester City and a win for Arsenal will put them level on points. However, Arsenal would win the title on goal difference because they currently lead on the goal difference. So any result other than a win for both sides will give Arsenal the title. If Man City don't win and Arsenal win, that's it. It's done. Okay. But if Man City win, it doesn't matter if Arsenal win by 10 billion to nil. They're not going to win the title. Guys, let me take your quick thoughts on that. But even I think I should be able to read some messages before, just quickly as I promised. Edward Addo says Arsenal fans thought they will win the league against Pep City while losing home and away to Villa. They should go and ask Liverpool. They lost only one game all season and still didn't win the league. Interesting comment. This one is from that was from Edward Addo. This one is from Jibril Abubakar, who says the promise was made by the vice president of the organization, but not the organization. Very interesting. This country. OP Zamani says conflict of interest is being redefined and justified because the Black Starlets possess certain skills and techniques. Let's keep justifying. You'll blow up soon, and you'll be here ranting about the state of Ghana football again. Interesting comment from Zamani. I'm sure he's addressing what Daniel said earlier. Watching Enoch says these guys be wicked, pa, very, very wicked. I'm sure he's referring to the Deborah incident. This one says this is from Nana Kwesi, who says don't allow any talent you know out there to be convinced to represent the country called Ghana. They will waste your talent, waste your time, and make you very poor. It's not worth dying for. Yet, if you're Ghanaian by blood, but go where talent won't go waste. Hashtag Save Ghana, he says. Interesting comment from him. Ransford B. Akoto says, so you people are saying that when we play soccer, the opponent should not play some or what? You've won, and that's more important than the so-called control. Tomorrow, he will say that he liked the way the team controlled and we're unlucky to lose. Interesting comment. There's more here on WhatsApp. This one says, from Confusion. This message is from Confusion. Okay. That's from Confusion. Okay, interesting. His name is Confusion. It's from Confusion. He says, all right, let me see. All right, it says, you don't angry me. Oh. You can't just start the show without apologizing to listeners for sacrificing last week. Tell Adam she must apologize too. Me, I'll read the message. Oh. The naked demo to KT's house is ticked again and loading. Don't get it twisted. I love mom, but her celebration could have waited 2 more hours. Don't play with game plan. Oh, yo, direct this love letter to Miss Edem 90. Interesting. Edem, somebody's threatening you on WhatsApp for replacing game plan with the Mother's Day show last week. He says he loves his mother, but not as much as game plan. Interesting.
Didn't say that.
Nitojo from Tema Newtown says, catch them young and groom them. Fundamentals are key to development. Kudos to the GFA and the Ghana Sports Ministry. This one says, okay. It's a question. Why was the money not paid into Deborah's account and instead of taking it on tabletop? What is that question? All right, more messages here. This one says, okay.
Just a great week.
Wait, this is greeting us, eh? Don't worry. We've got some more here. This is why the EPL final day on Sunday will be crucial. Philip in Krokrovite.
Crucial.
Yeah, that's right. Crucial Sunday coming up. The WhatsApp number 05511119997. I've got more messages. Hello, Fed. He says, sweet good morning from Bedroom Pep Guardiola, texting you from Ontario, Canada. I promised Danny that if Arsenal wins the league, I'll give him $500 Canadian. Tell him now I have doubled it to 1,000 Canadian dollars. Danny K. I know depreciation. 1,000 Canadian dollars.
1,000 Canadian.
It'd be money. Like 14,000 cedis.
Okay.
Quite a lot of money. So Daniel, I have to go on your knees and pray.
Hey.
You have to go on your Chris in Ashaman says Ghana is just a concept country and one needs not to waste our time and talent here at all. I'm sure he's
now Chris is talented.
I'm sure he's enraged.
Oh yeah, he plays for the Ghana National Fire Service team.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
why are you exposing him?
Oh, he plays for them. He's good for her. They have some players on number 18, but us like this thing. If they
Behave yourself.
If they tell for the fact and then the grass on the
Oh God. Good afternoon, guys. I don't blame Arteta if he doesn't win the league because Aston Villa's coach did everything to spoil Arsenal's party because he was expecting Arsenal to have given him some time to perform. Like what was going on? What's going on with Arteta now? Ajman Joseph, a Commissioner Tema, aka Ajingo, the man. And this is why for the last matches anything can happen. What can happen?
Nothing. There's nothing crucial about the last few
You
games.
are telling me that Man City are winning, Arsenal are winning.
Killer.
Man City don't have a Gerrard, and you expect them to sleep.
See. Fence.
All right.
You're only trying to hype
The last day.
Then you look like you're looking for drama. Hey, there's no drama.
Very routine.
City against West Ham at the Etihad, nothing is happening. Kudus can score first, they will lose.
Hey,
bro, don't stress. Nothing is happening.
So we shouldn't waste our time.
No. Just enjoy how Pep left the 4th consecutive Premier League. There is nothing happening. Nothing. See, Fence, even if you joke, Sean Dykes will give us no problems. I told people on Twitter that if Spurs takes something away from City, Arsenal won't beat Everton.
So you were saying that no matter what had happened in the last few games, if City slip, Arsenal slip.
I'm telling you. See, at the moment, the Arsenal, see, and that is at the time where Arsenal were going to play Spurs, they had a great opportunity of being in control of the league
title,
and that is where Arteta overthought it, brought Calvert back into the midfield, changed what they were doing that was going so well for them, and they slipped. And around this time of the season for Pep and City, they don't sleep. See, we've seen this movie over and over again, but we keep thinking the script will change.
The last time when we had that conversation,
they won't sleep.
You thought it was going to happen.
I told you that if Liverpool slips, it won't be for Arsenal to benefit.
It will be City
straight, and that time City was third. But I knew City are champions. It's done. It's cast. It's in stone.
Stanley in Achimoto says, did Mohamed Kudus really say that he would do Thomas Partey a favor on Sunday?
No, it's fake quote.
It's a fake quote.
Mokus now, you know.
Adele from Madrid, Spain says, you made me refresh my browser, so I'm not knowing the show hadn't come on. He was talking about last week. Sorry. We missed your sweet analysis on the UCL semi-second leg. Madrid, we are going for the 15. Apollo 15 hashtag. Sicho.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm going to stick with you. Okay. Or Daniel, do you have something to say about the last day? Except prayers, right?
It's a miracle working.
I remember. He said,
I have a God.
Arteta will leave the trophy. We'll wait.
I have a God
who never fails.
I have a God who never fails. Who never fails. Who never fails. Forevermore. Arsenal fans, join the tune.
God save the love you people.
Listen, Charlie, but
first 15 minutes, no, quick.
The most informed team right now in England is Chelsea.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, Sicho, the last round, the penultimate round of matches, those that played at home, their managers, players had the opportunity to address the fans and what have you. Your man, Erik ten Hag, made a lot of news because he didn't just address the fans to thank them for what he said was a difficult season. He went on to promise that they are going to beat Man City at the Wembley Stadium to win the FA Cup. But you, on the other hand, think that he should be gotten rid of right now.
Not necessarily. Don't misquote
me.
No misquote.
You said that you believe that Southgate is perfect for Man United now.
So let me read what you asked. I said I have a take on why Gary Southgate might actually be the perfect man for Man United.
Might.
Yes, now. Yes, now. And I put
he would be replacing someone.
I put might in capital letters. I put now in capital letters because emphasis are on those things.
Let's hear you.
As for Ten Hag, he was lying about the the players to give 100%.
He said he last gaslight.
United will give 100%. He thinks City will give. Even if City gives 5%, he will beat you.
Toxic.
That the case I didn't hire him.
But friends, you see, the reason why I said, listen, I've come through all the managers that are available, right? And I've looked at the club Man United and where they are now. I've analyzed the problems they have. And I've looked around and I'm thinking that maybe Gareth Southgate, for now, might be the right choice.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Uninterrupted.
Friends, Man United now can't win big things. They are not capable of winning big things. Largely because from the very top, they've got issues, which, to be fair to the new owners, they look like they are trying to fix. The results of that, we don't know yet because they've not necessarily started working. But it looks like they're trying to fix the very top and the structure above the footballing itself. But there's something lacking at Man United. It says the culture. It's almost as if since Ferguson left, the culture, the embodiment of the club Man United, the meaning of playing for Man United, the meaning of what United stands for has been lost. And it's been worse, or it gets worse as the years go by. So people wear the Man United shirts. It doesn't really mean what it used to mean to the players who were playing under Sir Alex Ferguson. Mm-hmm. If you bring in any big name manager that you think is on the market, and that manager is coming into this culture to try and win, as we've seen of LVG, as we've seen of Jose, as we've seen now of Erik ten Hag, it won't work because the foundation and the principles on which winning can be sustained, which is the culture of the club, is non-existent. Now, of all the managers that look like they are available and those that have been linked to the club, Southgate might be that manager who, for me, can start the very thing that the playing body needs: the culture.
A cultural shift.
And that is because he's done that with the Three Lions. Before him, the Three Lions, players from all the big clubs will come to the Three Lions and they won't be talking to each other. In fact, Rifena has said it, John Terry has said it, when Rooney said it, Frank Lampard said it.
They brought club rivalry
to the
national team.
He changed the culture of the Three Lions. He took them all the way. Listen, this is not the most talented English national team we've seen.
Yeah.
But it's actually the best English national team in terms of team that we've seen in a generation. Because of what? He changed the culture and the thinking of the players who always would receive the call-up. So he had a team of players who were ready to fight for the national colours. It meant something. And he was a key figure in building that culture.
Right.
And that is what Man United need to do now. They need to build a culture on which success can thrive. So for now, I think Gareth Southgate could be that manager, because if you bring Thomas Tuchel, he wants to win now. Tuchel would fight the board to give him players to win now. Tuchel might win this season, might win the next season. By the third season, when he is gone, the culture on which sustained success can thrive would have been eroded by the rotten culture that still exists. So talk of City. When they built their winning mentality, their culture, the way the model works at the club, they brought in Pep Guardiola, and now Pep is sustaining the success because the culture is there. Like, they've done it.
You don't believe Ten Hag can do that job?
No, I think Ten Hag. No, I don't think Ten Hag can build the culture. The culture that makes players want to belong. The culture that makes players want to play for what the club stands for. He doesn't even know it.
Are we not saying that now because the 2 years haven't proven that? Wasn't that the idea?
No.
The idea was for him to come and start winning immediately?
I said that from day one. That you see, when you bring Erik ten Hag into the Man United culture without the support system he had in Ajax, and you think he's going to do what he did in Ajax, you have misplaced priorities. Because in Ajax, he wasn't responsible for doing a lot of those things. He was responsible for the 90 minutes of the pitch.
Fair enough. You're saying that Southgate is the one that can thrive in this chaotic environment.
I think he's the one who can build the culture. And for now, because if Southgate builds that culture and makes it
with the same existing chaos at the top.
No, the chaos is being sorted at the top. But Southgate has proven that with what he's done with England, that he's capable of building a team culture.
Yes, I'm saying if the chaos is resolved, can Ten Hag Bill saying.
I don't see it. He doesn't have a track record of it. So I'm talking about Southgate's track record. He's already done it. And that's what. So if Southgate does that, maybe in the next 2 years, and that is established, he might not necessarily be the one to take Man United back to winning consistently. And that's what Man United fans must be patient with. The next manager might not be the one to win you the big things. But the next manager is important in the way the club begins to look at itself, even from the playing body, culture. Now, when Southgate's time is done and that culture is built, if you bring any winning coach with the structure they have at the top, I think they can have sustained success. But one thing too is good. With his experience as a national team manager, maybe while they build the culture and they might not be good enough to win the league straight away, in cup games, he might be giving them some level of success. And while they build, they might be successful in cup competitions because of his experience in international management, and then Man United can grow on from there. Because I don't see any manager on the market who walks into Man United right now and gets things going. I don't.
Interesting. Very well. Thank you very much, Sicho. Danny K, your hand is up.
There's this phrase that the Gen Z baddies have been using: toxic manipulator. That's Ten Hag. He's a toxic manipulator.
Because he said you win the FA Cup.
End of season speech.
Yes, he said you win the FA Cup.
He's stoking the emotions. Me, I know these people who.
You know that they didn't ask him. He said,
they didn't ask him anything.
I want to say one more thing.
Bring the mic.
Yes,
I want to say one more thing. These players will give you
the season it's not over yet. Next week we go to Wembley and we play against Manchester City. And I promise you.
Masa.
I promise you.
See, we know these people.
I promise you.
Did he use the word promise?
Yes.
If you come together and see promises, they are failing.
He says, and I promise you, we will beat Man City and win the FA Cup.
See, we know these people.
The boys will give everything.
Toxic manipulator.
But right now, the boys say, man, they've picked some form in the last 2 games, so City are in trouble.
And that one too, they
say the last 2 games, a fire against Arsenal. They almost beat Arsenal.
Almost.
Yeah, that's what they are
saying.
If
Nialo could kill a bet.
They almost. And the last game against Newcastle.
When was the last time nearly killed a bet?
Interesting. All right, listen, guys. I'm gonna end with this. I don't know how much you guys have followed this, but on Saturdays it's a big fight in Saudi.
Yeah.
Alexander Usyk against Tyson Fury.
Fury.
It's the. In fact, it's been described by Frank Warring as the biggest heavyweight fight in the 21st century. This is the first time in the 4-belt era where all 4 belts are on the line. And for Tyson Fury, well, you know him. He says all kinds of things.
This was for me, but then I was doing it for the country as well. I had to.
I'm going to make this short and simple. I want to thank God for the victory that I've received already. And I want to thank everybody involved in putting this massive event on. I want to thank Usyk for turning up and challenging me. And that's about it. Thank you to all the fans who travelled over to support me, because I know it's tough times at the moment and money's hard. So I aim to put on a show. Thank you very much. God bless.
The fight hasn't started and he's thanking people for winning.
Oh yes.
No, see, box, if you don't have personality, you can't do it.
You can't. Have you got
Tyson Fury.
The victory speech before the bout.
Exactly. What about Usyk? This is what he said.
It will be great fight because it's great man, really. It's big man, smart, like Hitler, sneaky. It's like sneaky, Oh, we have to fight, drink beer, blah blah blah,
and says he talks too much. Interesting. All right, listen. But Danny K, briefly, who you think have got this one? Usyk has 3 belts. Fury has 1. The Usyk 3 belts, he took them from Josh.
Whose belly is like Sabinus?
Fury.
Let's calm down.
Charlie, on the level, if you ask me this thing like 6 months ago, I'll say it's a straight Fury win. But after he fought in Ngannou, some way.
Yeah.
Like you see, technically that's where we give Fury his flowers. He's a very good technical boxer when it comes to outscoring opponents in terms of points and things.
Yeah.
Usyk is also really, really good at it, and we saw the decent job he did with Joshua. As for Joshua, me if I can beat him, Lexis can beat him.
Hey, Joshua beat Ngannou. Can you beat Ngannou?
I go beat Ngannou. I go beat Ngannou. If see, I can beat Joshua. Joshua and Kwade, I tell you that is important. Beat Joshua.
There are some things that when you say, will give you the benefit of that.
I said me, I can beat him.
This one, I'm looking at you. I want to come and slap you from across.
Oh, that is
you can beat
3 weeks training. Papa Dak. I give her one back.
Have you seen the human being?
Joshua.
Anyway, so that's on Saturday.
Fine boy boxing the fight. Fine boy boxing.
That's on Saturday night, so we'll see. Anyway, also remember the last day of the Premier League will be live here on 99.7 Joy FM. Danike, Achu, Musba, everybody will be here on Sunday to wrap up the season. So the tears, the joy, the whatever your emotions are, do join us on Sunday on 99.7 Joy FM for the final day rundown. Okay, we'll be here. I'll be here, of course, for you on 99.7 Joy FM. This has been Game Plan. Thanks for your time. Live on Hits 103.9 FM as well. My name is Fentu Tahiru Fentu. The show will be available as a podcast later on all podcast platforms, as well as on YouTube, on the Joy News YouTube channel. That's where they upload this particular show. Switch off for Philip Achrim, Daniel Krante, Mufta Nabila Blai. Thank you very much. We also spoke to Ben Nunu Mensah, GOC president, on the phone line. We thank him for his time as well. We're back again next Friday. Until then, do enjoy your weekend, and I wish you all the very best.